Hey, unfinished projects in here. Couple people are in here, just kind of getting set up. Let's see. Get a couple things going here. Let me see. All right. So we'll get a couple people in here. Anyone that wants to jump on the live, definitely welcome to do so. There's a link in the comments. Haven't actually done this in a while. I haven't done it probably at least 3 months. Used to do live almost every week, but busy with a lot of stuff and just haven't been around to do it. But figure I'd do at least a quick one tonight. So probably like an hour and a half. Not a lot or anything, but catch up with some people, see what a few people are up to, and hopefully have a good time. So yeah, if anybody's got anything they want to talk about, Mopar and car related, um, definitely throw it out there. Any questions about any projects or any other stuff, definitely throw it out there. Um, but yeah, hopefully we'll get maybe at least one, if not more, people up on screen. Flows better that way. It has actual conversation going on rather than just the feeling of me talking to a screen. But you know, everything's a little different with people on here. Hey Crash, how's it going? Um, Pretty good overall. Just busy with a lot of stuff, trying to go through, sell some stuff, get ready for potentially going to No Name Nationals. I'll get into that a little later, possibly. But yeah, do I do a lot of stuff different besides cars? No, really, no, not at all. Um, from time I get up to time I go to bed, other than a couple hours of the day, I'm working on cars, thinking about doing stuff with different stuff. But it's all car stuff. It's all Mopar specific stuff. So generally speaking, there's a couple other hobbies, whatever that I do sometimes, but generally speaking, 90% of the time cars. So Mopar stuff only. But yeah, and I will throw that link up again for anybody that wants to jump up here and talk or hang out or do whatever. Because definitely helps with more people in. But I'd like to get back into doing more lives and stuff. I wanted originally to do one every week, but and I did that for probably about a month, and then just caught up with so many other things that you just don't have time. Don't have time, and don't sometimes traveling. So yeah. And if anybody's got questions about any of the projects or anything going on, for anybody who hasn't checked any of the stuff out lately, not that it's like really, really big stuff or anything, but picked up a CUDA, Barracuda, but I call it a CUDA at least, about 2 weeks ago, a 73, and then a 71 Roadrunner like 4 days ago or something. So, you like hunting, fishing, shooting? When I get a chance, my mom's side of the family does some shooting and stuff, and I do enjoy that. Fishing, I really wish I had more time to do. I do enjoy that a lot, but just don't have a ton of time, and um, you don't have a ton of really, really good weather for it around here, at least. I mean, you do, but it's generally speaking, when you have really good weather, you're outside working on other stuff. But yeah, definitely a few things like that. Wish you could do cars all the time. Yeah, that it's an interesting combination. It's a lot of fun to do a lot of car stuff. Um, but when it's something that you enjoy and you love so much, doing it in the way of work and then doing it in the way of your free time, it gets to be kind of a lot. But it it's always fun, and it's always finding new ways to uh, challenge me. That's for sure. Are you gonna make it to St. Peter? No, I don't know anything about that crash. What's going on there? I don't know anything. Yeah, the Barracuda. It is a cool car. The E-bodies, the prices are just they're up. Um, More than a B body in some cases, which is kind of weird to think about. But it's a it's a weird way that that car did rust out. It didn't rust out, but it did get rust in the quarters and stuff. But other than the quarters, the entire car is rust free, pretty much. It's as rust free as you could claim a rust free car to be, really, other than the quarter panels. And it has one spot in the trunk that, after you cut out any of the bad metal, it would be probably about a 2 inch by 1 inch section to fix, so it wouldn't be a big deal. Unfinished project, excuse me. You make up your mind on the Barracuda, keep it, sell it. Leaning towards selling it. Really would like to sell it. I've just not to talk about it too much, but um, if I sell that and a couple other things, we can pay a couple things off and then actually have an opportunity at not just one but two other project cars. That would be a lot of fun. So, you can't keep them all, and I really never had any hopes or dreams of owning a 73 Barracuda that's petty blue. Personally, I don't like the color that much. I think it's like a C minus color, but you know, it's better than F8 green, in my opinion. Swap meet in St. Peter. All automotive related, Crash? I'm Yeah, that'd be a fun little thing to go to. If it's all automotive related, I'll definitely look into it. Roadkill doesn't fly. I had a Challenger once. Wish I still had it, but I have too much to do now. Yeah, it. I can tell you from experience, having multiple cars going at once is a good thing in one aspect, but it's a bad thing in others. The good side of it is, if you're working on car A, we'll say, or if you're working on car A and something's not going right, something's not working, or you're waiting on parts and you get frustrated with it, go work on car B. And then you're working on that, and maybe the parts show up for car A, or you want to go back and come up with a different solution to a problem for car A. That's definitely the case where it's better to have more than one car going. But the downside is takes up a lot of space. It definitely is a lot of stuff to do, and it can be overwhelming. Is your Roadrunner for a gambler type race or just for fun? I don't know which one you're talking about. There's three of them. There's the 68 off Roadrunner, there's the 69 Roadrunner, and now there's the 71 Roadrunner. I'm assuming you're talking about the off Roadrunner, the 68. And I'll say it here first, that car is probably going to be going away. I don't have it sold. I don't have a buyer for it or anything like that. It's just something I have other better potential opportunities ahead, and the money I could potentially make on a car like that would be a lot better suited for other things. I wanted to do it, fix what had to be fixed, and then um, go through and make it run pretty good. But it's a lot. It's a lot to do, and it doesn't seem like it's a lot to do, but I can tell you from experience wise, because the 69 Super B that I'm still actively working on, that I need to actually put a little more focus towards. Um, that car didn't look like it was going to be that big of a deal to put together, and it's really not. But next thing you know, you're putting a couple hours a day into it at times, depending on situations. But you figure, oh, well, I'll put a couple hours a day in. Then next thing you know, you got this pop up, you got this to pop up, you go out of town for a couple days here, there, whatever, and it takes a lot of time, not active working time, but it takes a lot of time to get something like that going at times. Um, Crash Automotive, but all makes for that swap meet. Yeah, I'll look into it. Does it have a name other than just the St. Peter's swap meet or anything? I can look into it. Or if you can, maybe you could email me the a link to it or something. Roadkill doesn't fly. Saw an advertise for 53 Imperial Chrysler made for Queen Elizabeth. Looks just like Plum Crazy Purple turned into Chief of Chrysler's car. Huh. Haven't seen that. Have to check that out. I never really got into the 50s cars. For a while, I kind of wanted like a 55, 56 kind of like one of those job rated trucks, but maybe one day something like that. There's so many other things that are around that would have to take priority over something like that. But I guess there are some people that are really into those 50s cars. There's a friend, my dad's friend's dad. Anyways, try to say that 10 times fast. He's got a couple of 56 Coronets, and he's pretty big into those and some of those 50s eras cars, as well as he has um, I'm trying to remember. He's got a 442. Yeah, yeah. And some other stuff. But yeah, I know he's into some stuff like that. But yeah, and when it comes to, I guess I can give a little bit of a rundown as far as current projects on the channel and where things are sitting. Right, but the Imperials are, yeah, yeah. I honestly can't imagine off the top of my head what one looks like, but I'm sure if I looked it up, it'd probably be pretty decent. Um, Probably a pretty big car too. But current kind of state of projects and miscellaneous other things. Oh, what do I even start at? I guess I'll start with the 1966 Belvedere. That car has been sitting idle and will sit idle for I don't know how long. What I'm probably going to end up doing is putting the wheel and tire back on the one side and at least rattle can primering the bare metal spots and making sure it's protected from weather. And it's probably going to be sitting outside for a little bit while I go through and fix some stuff in the shop area and clean some of that up. But as of now, that is still on the board for projects on the channel. I don't know exactly what the modified plan is going to be for that car because it was going to be a very drag car inspired build with a 500 horsepower 440 that is now um, in the 69 Super B. So there is no engine and transmission slated for that car, and the overall plans for the car may change, or the car actually may be sold. So, not sure. Very, very open as far as where that's going to end up going. While we're talking about stuff in the back shop, really, really old project, old viewers, if anybody even remembers the car. There's a 1971 Challenger back there on a rotisserie. I have a guy potentially interested in purchasing it. Otherwise, it will likely be for sale if he doesn't want any part of it. So that will be going away, hopefully. If I don't get a little bit more of a confirming kind of an answer from the guy in the next probably a month or so, it'll probably be pulled out of the corner and potentially advertised. So we will see how something like that goes. How much you want for the 69B? It's not for sale. The blue one? Are you talking about the blue one? Because there's two of them. Because if you're talking about the blue one's not for sale. The only whatever, yeah. The only way that car is ever being sold is if some stuff was to go pretty terribly wrong, and I don't even want to say that because I never want something like that to happen, but is if there was some sort of a financial emergency. Remember, how about the Challenger convertible? There is no convertible. I have one convertible on the property, and it's a 68 Barracuda convertible that is cut to pieces, and the rest of that's going to be going to a scrapyard soon. So I don't have a convertible. The Challenger is normal two-door hardtop. Really, really solid car. I cut the floor out of it because the floor was rusty in spots, but more importantly than that, it was originally a 318 4-speed car, and then they cut the 4-speed tunnel out of it, and then they welded in some, like, I don't even know what it was. It looked like something that was just beat with a hammer. Excuse me. For a tunnel, so that's not ideal. So I have a full floor for the car. So that's perfectly, if the car is to be sold, that obviously goes with it, or if my other guy that might be interested in the car doesn't fall through, I would likely go through and put the 4 in. You had one, probably sold it fast. No, I never had a convertible. I've never had an E-body convertible. I had a 70 Cuda. I don't know if that's what you're thinking of. It was in black primer. 70 Barracuda Grand Coupe, B7 blue with black interior, white vinyl top is what it was originally, 318 car. I don't know if that's what you're talking about. But other than the Barracuda convertible that was a body, 68 Barracuda convertible, never, ever, ever had any other convertibles, and I don't want any other convertibles. And people are going to hate me for saying this, but convertibles look stupid as far as most models. I know there's some that it looks okay, but want to trade me a set of your 15x7 Mopar Rally wheels for 69 Super VRT? I gotta email you, talk to you about that hood. You see if we can make something work there as far as you're going to No Name, I'm likely going to No Name. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, not gonna hold to it, but definitely not 100% guaranteed on that one. Could be it was a year or two ago. I remember that one for parts. There's a 70 Challenger here. It's still here. It's a hardtop. It's yellow. Yellow, black top, black interior, buckets, console, 318 automatic car. Was hitting the side a little bit in the fender area. No hood. I don't know if that's what you're talking about. Otherwise, there's a shell of a 70 Challenger here also. Yeah, 70. That was a 71 for a second. It's a 70. Um, that car, I don't even know what to do with that car, but would like to sell it ideally. But anyways, and then there's a 70 Challenger TA that's sold, obviously, but it's still here waiting pickup and final payment. I don't know if that's what you're talking about. F8 green. I'm not sure where you're remembering a convertible from. It might have been someone else. But regardless, why don't you prefer A bodies? An A body is a subpar car by design. I don't want to come across too overly opinionated on them. But an A body in comparison to an E body or a B body is, well, there is no comparison. The A body definitely had some good moments. It definitely had a couple of bright spots in its history, but generally speaking, in my opinion, no. I'm not a fan of any of the A body Barracudas. I'll just talk about the A bodies that I would consider or that I would maybe do something with if something basically fell out of the sky into my lap because I'd never want to pay very much for one. And I know I'm probably going to make a bunch of A body guys mad by saying that, but it is what it is. 67 through 69 darts. If I could find a dart, a dart that would be like a factory 383 4-speed car, that would be really cool, like a GTS. Otherwise, I would do a 70 or a 71 Duster, but I would big block swap it. But I don't know, we'll see. But I don't know. I would, do something like the Roadkill crop duster. That's the only way I'd want a duster in general. But those are the only cars that are A bodies that make any kind of sense to me. 67 through 69 darts. They're a decent looking car. And if you put a 383 with an automatic or a 383 with a 4-speed even, I think it would be, I think it'd be a heck of a car. But the I don't know, and then there's the factory 440 cars in 69, so you have a 69 Dart GT Shell 344 speed car you'd sell me, Roy boy? I'm always buying stuff, buying and selling, and I don't necessarily really want a Dart, but I don't know, email me. But I don't know. Ron says A bodies are fantastic for what they are, the low price line. They're not a bad place. How do I put it that makes sense? They're not a bad format for a drag car. But that's kind of all I see them as far as the aftermarket world, really. roadkill doesn't fly. It's cool that you're honest. I read where a healthy big block can twist an A body, even make the passenger door open. Yeah, I imagine, I've heard a lot of people say that the A bodies do not have as good of unibody structure and just structure points in general as the E bodies and the B bodies, and they're a smaller car. So if you put a, just as an example, a 400 horsepower big block from a B body will take it. It was built from the factory to take that much. And then you put it into an A body, which never was built to take that. There's your answer. Something's going to fail. And I guess that would be another thing about big block swapping an A body. You probably need to do subframe connectors or stiffen something up to make it work because, like you're saying, Yes, exactly. Darts are decent drag cars. They don't bring the money to pay back a resto effort. You're right. Yeah, they don't. There's a select few that would bring enough money to consider a restoration, like a 69. Oh, what are they referred to as? 69 A13 cars, I believe is what they are. I believe A13 is the code. They're actually a 69 and a half, which very much got overshadowed by the Super Bs and the Roadrunners of the time. But anyways, yeah, M code. There you go. Thanks, Ron. M code. That's what it was. The M code Darts and Barracudas of 69. If you can find a decent one to start and don't pour a bunch of money into the initial purchase of the car, you could probably come out even or maybe ahead on a restoration on one of those, depending on what the car was originally. So that's a possibility, but for your standard even 340 cars, unless you have a really good one to start with and you don't pay much for the initial purchase of the car, you're not gonna probably bring back positive. I'm gonna throw that link up there again if anybody wants to jump up here or talk or anything like that. Definitely feel free to do so, and we can talk about cars or whatever. Mopar stuff. Maybe get into talking about a couple of No Name National related things, but not gonna spend a ton of time on that. But I will glaze over that quick. I do not at this time have any 100% commitment to going because of a number of things. Because due to lack of time and finance and other related things, I've been on a lot of other stuff. And as far as the 69 Super B making it to No Name Nationals, the chances are unlikely, but not zero. I'm not going to say it won't happen, but I'm going to say that it's unlikely. The chances of us going at all are in question, but definitely would like to go and meet some people and hang out with some people, but definitely not 100% confirmed on anything yet. You saw that latest E-body? Nope, still got that Barracuda. Still got it. Still got it. Talking to a couple of people on it, but no cash in hand, no sale. So E-body's still trending up, you think? Well, the way I see it is this. Hey, Jeff. The way I see it is this on the on the A bodies, the not A bodies, geez, E bodies. You guys are talking about A bodies, you're throwing me off. But the E bodies, I think that the value for a 70 or a 71 E body is always going to hold true, and it's probably going to continue to trend upward. But the 72 through 74 E bodies will increase in value. They'll never be the same as a 70 or a 71. And this is my opinion, my take on it. Not 100%, take my word with a grain of salt. But the 72 through 74 are going to increase in value because they're starting to become more and more popular for a few reasons. Because people can't afford the 70 or a 71 anymore, generally speaking, the average person. They're more readily available than a 70 or a 71, making them a little bit cheaper, but still good value. And, there's a lot of factors, but they're just easier to find, but they still hold true to what they're supposed to be, generally speaking. And the other thing is they make all the parts to convert my 73 Barracuda into a 71 Cuda. You can buy the fenders or modify the fenders. You can buy the replacement quarter panels with the right things in them. You could buy the grill. You can buy the front header panel. That's a little different. You can buy the front valence grill that's for 71. You can buy you can buy the rear valence with the cutouts and everything. There's nothing, there's nothing that's going to stop you from turning a 73 Barracuda into a 71 Cuda. And same thing with Challengers. There's nothing that's going to stop you from taking a 74 Rally Challenger and turning it into a 70 RTSE Hemi-Car clone. So that's where their value is. And there's a lot of people that are doing that. There's a lot of people that are not wanting to pay the price to find a 70 or a 71 in good shape. So they go and they find a 73 or something like it that needs rear quarter panels and a couple little things like that, and they make it work. Hey, NSB, how's it going? And for anybody just jumping in, there's a link in the comments for anybody that wants to jump up here. You're welcome to do so. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the trends move price wise. A lot of things going on that could definitely affect them. Just stuff in the world right now. So definitely some people are saying they're going to go down. A lot of people are saying, they're going to hold their value. They're going to stay where they are. And I think that's the case. So hopefully, because if they do drop, that's not going to be good for business. Roadkill doesn't fly says, could build an E-body with all new parts, but a VIN is needed. Yes. And I do wonder if people are going to start doing that and what the legality behind it is, because if somebody goes, for example, and I don't know how to explain it right, but if somebody goes and builds an entirely new car out of entirely new, brand new sheet metal and parts, and then goes out and finds some 1970 or 71 Challenger or Cuda or whatever, whatever the case may be, and finds one out in a junkyard that's been rolled and crashed and destroyed and steals the VIN off of it, is anybody going to go and stop them, or are they just going to let that fly? As far as I know, and I could be very wrong on this, but as far as I know, the only way you can build a E-body, I'll just say E-body chassis, unibody, Uh, you can do it, you can build it, you can make it, but I think you can only title it as like a custom built car, or you can probably go through and just leave it untitled as a drag car, but then you can't take it on the street. So I don't know what people are doing to get around that stuff. Obviously, it's probably different in different parts of the country too, though. So if somebody has any information on that, definitely I'd be curious to know what that's all about. So yeah, I don't know. But the e-bodies are definitely holding their value. And then you talk about building a car out of nothing, people are trying to do that with chargers too all the time. Roadkill does fly. Junkyards could just charge for the vent. Yeah, but that's illegal in almost all places. Obviously it might be different in your part of the country, whatever. I don't know every state's law on titles, but most places you cannot take a VIN from one vehicle and place it on another under any circumstance. And it sure could never be titled as such. Um, yeah, I'm not sure. Now, if Junkyard's got a old 70 Cuda or Challenger or whatever, and they just a rotted out pile of something that's got a VIN in the dash that's still good and readable, I guess they could sell the car to the guy, and whatever the guy does with the car, that's his business. But I don't know. If anybody ever finds out, then it would be a problem. And if you're doing all new metal and all kinds of stuff, there's definitely a lot of ways that you can find out, because when you're putting all new metal on, you're not getting any of the part number stampings, any of the date stampings, any of the VIN number stampings. But I don't know. Thought once it went in the junkyard, couldn't come back out as a whole car. In some places, in others, you can take whole cars out. I think there's a couple states that once it goes in, it cannot come out as a whole car. I believe, I believe Alabama's like that. Oh, Missouri's like that. Huh. I thought there was a place that sold whole cars out of yards in Missouri. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. That's called a felony. Yeah. Graveyard Cars built the Phantom Cuda with nothing more than rocker panels and door jams. Yeah, you know, and there's a point where you have to think about whether or not it's a real original car or not anymore. But at the end of the day, even if it's built out of nothing, it's another classic Mopar on the road again. So that's the way you probably got to look at it. Let's see. Buyer beware, check paperwork and numbers. Yes, always do that whenever you can. Obviously, there are some instances where you can't if you buy something out of state where you're just getting it delivered and you don't see it first. But whenever you can, do that. Texas, you can take cars out of yards in Texas, I believe. I think so. I'd have to ask a friend down there, but I believe you can. That should be fine. I'm not sure what Texas's um, laws are on titles and junkyard cars. I know there are yards down there that seem to be selling cars out of there, but I don't know legality. But Yeah, I can ask somebody. Yeah, if anybody wants to jump on, definitely do so. I'm out, boys. See you on the trail. Yep. Have a good night, man. Definitely curious to see how things will go at No Name Nationals if I can make it there. Um, there's gonna should be, you know, a lot of people are backing out, but should be a good amount of people there. But a lot of people are getting busy with other stuff, so that's understandable. Mr. Pure Country. Technically, the parts are being manufactured because Chrysler's allowing it, licensing the builders, so they're Chrysler approved parts. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I believe at least most of them are. I'm sure that there are definitely some parts being manufactured that are definitely not to the quality that Chrysler wants, but at the same time, it definitely doesn't hurt them, doesn't hurt their overall image, whatever. If older cars are being put back on the road, I hope they don't change anything like that, and I'm not sure that they would ever want to, or that they would ever go through trying to take away licensing on parts like that. But I guess you never really know. With all this new stuff going on, hopefully they don't try to pull the plug on this, which they'd have a real hard time doing. But we'll see. I saw some channel in Texas where a guy was going through saying he couldn't save some nice cars. Couldn't watch it anymore. Yeah, and that's there's a lot of stuff where the yard owner um, is in charge of that kind of stuff sometimes too. You know, obviously it's up to the owner of the yard to decide what he wants to sell, what he doesn't want to sell. But the other aspect of that is um, there's definitely ways around it. And the biggest thing is, I'm pretty sure there has to be some sort of paper or registry or something that a car goes into once it goes into a yard. And if the car doesn't have that paper or doesn't have that registry or there's no record of it going into the yard, then it shouldn't be a problem. But I don't know. Definitely circumstantial. But I know there's some yards around here that you can pull stuff out of. Um, but there's less and less yards even being around anymore. There's a number of them this year that have actually closed. So, and you got to wonder what happens to a lot of those cars once the yard is closed. And then the other question is, if the yard is out of business and closed and the cars still remain, who owns them and who's in charge of relocating or disposing of them. So you would think once a yard is closed out of business and there's no corporation or anything associated with them, you wonder what happens to the cars. I know a lot of them get crushed or destroyed or sold, but whatever's left is probably fair picking, I would almost think. But yeah, is there anything else anybody's got to say or got going on car related or anything like that? Definitely happy to hear any updates on any projects or stuff like that. Need a truck and trailer after you retire? Yeah, I will say we had our trailer situation messed up for a while because broke didn't break an axle, bent an axle on one, and then didn't have another one for a while, and then ended up with a different one. So it definitely is a big deal trying to deal with relocating stuff if you don't have a trailer. Definitely very thankful that we have one now. But yeah, definitely something worth investing in. Heck, when it comes to stuff, you could probably just rent it out when you're not using it. Because a lot of people need it for moving or whatever. But let's see, some stuff that got going on. Current projects around here that are going on. There are 3 active projects and more beyond that. But start with the 69 Super Bee because that's the oldest of the 3. Oh, excuse me. That I need to go through and do the kickdown linkage and throttle linkage. And then after that, put the dash in, assemble the interior, assemble the front clip and bumpers and details beyond that, and then it's ready to go after hooking up some lines and other stuff like that. I got to get fans and pulleys and stuff on the front end of it still, so it shouldn't be that much work to do, but that car, it seems like every time I get close, something else comes around and is like, well, another thing to slow me down. But we'll see where we get on that and when it gets done. Hopefully soon, but I mean we're 2 weeks away from No Name Nationals, so it's tough. Another car, the 73 Barracuda. What has been done with that car is bought it, threw a battery in it, tried to crank on the key. There's no power to the interior of the car, so probably there's a wiring issue. And then let's see, the interior has no power, but the switch panel for the headlights works, so that's a little bit odd. The under the hood harness was butchered by mice, so I went through and hot wired it with some assistance, and that will be nice. No, I'm talking about the Barracuda right now, but yes, the Super Bee will be nice. The Barracuda is what I'm on right now. The plug wires were even chewed through, so there's a lot of mouse evidence on that one. It was stored for a while, and I don't think it was very well protected, so that's the story on that. But went through there. It was a little low on oil, put a little bit in it. Cranks over good on the starter solenoid on the inner fender. No problem with the way I was hot wiring it. I ended up swapping the ECU on it. So no, it's electronic ignition, not points. It's 73. So 73s, I think all of them, if a large majority, if not all of them, were electronic ignition at that point. So checking stuff, going over and over again. You type slow, yeah, that's fine. Cranks over, no problem. Poured a little gas down the carburetor, and then it did kind of pop a little bit. So, and then found out the linkage on the carburetor, which should have been checked earlier, but the linkage on the carburetor was frozen. So took that off. I threw a Holley 3310 on it. And then I did get it to run a little bit. I only got it to run for a few seconds at a time, but I did get it to run a little bit, and then started looking at the timing, tried to advance the timing, and that didn't work. Tried to back it off even just a little bit from where it was, and that didn't work. And then I was thinking, what the heck is wrong with this thing? It might have a carburetor issue, but even still, it should run a little bit. But it wasn't giving me anything. So, and I had spark, but I figured, I had a problem similar to this way back on a 73 Charger. So I figured, maybe the distributor's messed up. Took the old distributor off, put the new one in the same position that it was in. Still nothing. I'd get a run for a couple seconds, but nothing. And backed off the timing, retarded it even a little bit more, nothing. And then I just kind of got mad at the thing and said, screw it, put it basically full retard, backed it way off, turned it, the vacuum canister is supposed to be pointing roughly at the passenger side hood hinge, and I believe currently it's pointing at the passenger front headlight. So basically quarter turn. Poured a little gas in it and fired right up, and was being held stuck at about 5,000 or 6,000 RPM. So that was a heck of a way for that engine to wake up. And that is a 340 in that car. So did that until it ran out of gas, which was 10 seconds. So, and we had an oil pressure gauge on, and the oil pressure basically spiked, over 40 pounds, almost 60 pounds, I believe. Yeah, 60, if I remember right. I'd have to go back and ask. Ask my dad. He was looking at the gauge at the time. But I don't know. We'll see. Could be bad wiring, converting the distributor. It wasn't a conversion. It was factory electronic ignition on this one. I know for sure. It says on the fender tag, electronic ignition package. And it was a California car, so that makes sense. But I don't know. So I believe what happened in all the backfiring that happened when trying to get it to run initially, I was talking to a couple people about it. There's a lot of backfiring through the carb. The carb was on fire a couple times even. I was talking to a friend of mine, and he even said that the power valve might have got blown on and it's just leaking gas through it. So there's a good chance of that. If I don't just sell it as is to the person I'm talking to about it right now, I'm going to go tear the front of the engine off and do the timing chain, because I'm assuming it's the timing chain based on how much I had to back the timing way off in order to get it run. I think it's jumped a tooth or two based off of that alone. But as far as what it needs to be functional, is it needs the wiring checked. It needs different carburetor that's actually good, and it needs a timing chain and a few other fluids and hoses or something, and that's it. That's pretty much the end of it. But we'll see. I don't know. We'll see how it does. If we go that way, if it does end up staying on the channel for some stuff, definitely we'll be recording progress on that. But that's kind of it for the Barracuda. I am going to go through, probably bolt the seats in correctly and clean the interior up a little bit before it sells regardless. So might do some stuff on that and another video on it if people want to see that, which I think a few people might want to see that. But moving on to the next one. 4 days ago, 3 days ago, 3, 4, 5 days ago, whatever it was, I got a 71 Roadrunner. It was originally a 383 4-speed car, and it has a 383 and 4-speed in it. It's not the right ones. It's like a 68 383 and like a 69 4-speed. So not correct, but it's all there. So, and it does run. Funny story, we were trying to pull it up on the trailer when we were getting it because it runs, it moves fine. And I look in the engine bay and I see a little bit of a spraying. There's a leak. And this car's been sitting for almost 20 years. There's like a spraying and a leak, and I was like, what's that? He's like, oh, I think it's a radiator hose or something, because it was getting the radiator hose wet. So I was like, oh, well, I guess that's not really that big of a deal. We will deal with that a little bit later, as long as it's just radiator hose, not that big of a deal. And it was just a small leak, but it was spraying pretty good. Looked at it a little bit closer, and it was the fuel line. So that easily could have caught the fire. Could have caught the car on fire, but definitely glad that it didn't. So we will. We got a hose clamp on that, and it doesn't leak anymore. And then I was looking down in the engine bay, down by the fuel pump, and there's a section of rubber hose about that long that connects from the fuel pump to a fuel filter. And then another section of hose about that long that runs to a hard line, which runs to the carburetor. But the hose between the fuel pump and the fuel filter was actually cracked and spraying a little bit of fuel there too. So definitely probably run better if it was getting all the fuel it's supposed to be getting. At least we know the fuel pump works. So that's a nice little bonus.
Oh, you noticed me right away, don't you? Can you hear me?
How's it going?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. All right, cool. No problem. I'm coming in for a little while.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Good.
I was just talking about the 71 Roadrunner we got. Talking about there was a fuel line leak and it was spraying fuel all over the engine.
That should have been nice.
Yeah, that's not a good thing.
Not a good thing, no.
No, I thought it was a radiator leak, so it was getting the radiator hose wet. So I was like, oh, it's probably the radiator hose. Nope, it was that's a fuel line. Oh, that's a problem. But
well, that would have been a totally different smell, though.
You couldn't smell hardly
fuel?
No, it wasn't running for more than a minute. And it was out in the open air, and it was a little bit windy. But yeah, it was definitely a little bit interesting to have a fuel leak before it's even on the trailer. But At
Did,
least you
did
know
you
the
get
fuel
into
pump works.
did you get into the brakes on the Roadrunner?
I've got them all torn apart right now. I've got a new hardware kit and new wheel cylinders. I can't get the stupid wheel cylinders that are on it off.
Why?
Well, the two bolts on the back, they're both stuck.
Are they still good? They're not stripped?
They're not stripped. They're not turning at all.
Well, does your socket not stay on there?
Well, I've tried a few things. I've tried the box end of, they're 3/8 is what they are.
Right.
Tried the box end, I've tried open end, I've tried everything on a wrench, and I can't get a socket there. You can't fit a socket there
Well, I've
with
done it
the
before
on the fronts.
on the fronts. Yeah, you have to get. You might have to go to a quarter inch
Quarter-inch
ratchet.
drive. Yeah, maybe.
Right, with
I
a
just didn't
long.
think that you could.
I should be able to get in there. You got to
Well,
be
with
able to get good. You got to get good grip on them because they'll either snap or come out. And they don't. You don't care if they snap as long as they come off.
yeah. Well, and the best thing I had on there, which still didn't work, and it spun. The wrench spun, not the
No,
not the bolt.
the bolt. Yeah,
But I put a line wrench on there, and that's good
that ain't gonna do it.
contact.
Yeah, but that's gonna spread apart. If it's really stuck, it's gonna spread apart.
Yeah,
You're gonna have
I
to
don't
get
know.
something that's got 6 sides.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm gonna
get
have
it
to
on
get
there.
something on there. Might need to use a
And
swivel.
I don't think the fronts are any harder than the back to me.
Well, the arm is right in the way, regardless how you turn
Yeah,
it or anything.
yeah, the arm is in the way. So, like I said, go with a quarter size and go with a hex head style
Yeah,
socket, and then get in there. I've got small quarter-inch breaker bars too that can do
yeah,
that. That's what the deal is. You gotta get in there because they're probably rusted on.
yeah.
And the other
Right.
alternative would be to take a chisel and break them.
Yeah, I don't know. I just want to get the stupid brakes to work because I want to see how this thing runs. I don't know if you
Now,
heard the I don't know if you heard the video of it running.
oh yeah, I think so.
It the guy said it's got a purple shaft cam in it, which that doesn't really narrow it down much, but
That could
it's
be anything.
probably a 509.
Probably. I don't know if
Well,
my I got a 383 like that, and I don't know what the cam. I know it's a purple cam because I've opened it up and I can tell, but I can't get the numbers. I can't unless I take it apart.
right. And this thing just, I mean, you pump it a couple times, it fires right up, no problem. At the key, no problem with the electricals. And it's got a
Huh?
it's got
You
a fuel
having
pressure, an aftermarket
you
fuel
having
pressure
CUDA
gauge.
nightmares, huh? The CUDA nightmares with the.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's it's nice to have something that works.
Now you need
At least
brakes.
at least for now. Yeah, yeah. The Cuda has brakes, the Roadrunner doesn't.
Does the CUDA have drum brakes in the front?
Disc.
Okay, take the CUDA's wheel and put them on the.
No. No, this is manual drum brakes all the way around.
Well, it's the perfect time to go manual disc.
Yeah. They need a different
Go manual.
proportioning valve for that.
I don't think so. No, probably not. You can probably get away with just putting an adjustable valve in the back on the back line.
Yeah, I need to figure out what the deal is with the back brakes because I'm not getting any fluid to the back.
So that's either your line on the back that's swollen inside, because that's how they go bad. They go bad from the inside out. Okay.
Hmm.
Or there's something wrong with that port. All you gotta do is undo that rear port, and if you got fluid coming out that rear port, it's over.
Hmm.
Then you know it's the line.
Well, and
And 9 out of 10 times, it's gonna be that.
Well, and I cracked the bleeders on it and everything, and it's just still no. I mean,
No, because something either the rubber line that comes down from the body to the axle,
yeah,
that's what's probably bad.
okay. I probably have one of
Be-
those around too.
because that's the guy that will swell in the inside. It's probably the original line. You're talking the
Yeah,
Roadrunner, right?
yeah. The
Right.
71.
Yeah, the Roadrunner. That's probably the original line, and that's what, almost 50 years now.
51, yeah.
51 years. Yeah, that line's probably done.
Yeah, I was gonna put new rubber lines on the front. Somebody replaced the front brake lines on it already.
That's good.
So they didn't
Yeah,
replace the rubber lines. I have rubber lines, so I was gonna replace those while I have it apart anyways.
that's
Re-grease the
good.
wheel bearings. The only thing that bothers me is the passenger front drum is broken, but just on the outside.
On the hub or the drum
On
itself?
the inner edge, on the part that goes up against the backing plate, pretty much.
Okay.
See, because there's like a U-shaped channel, and then the
Yeah, I
backing
know.
plate. Yeah, the backing plate goes there. So
Is
this
it just a
part,
chip out of it? Is there a chip out of it or what?
there's chunk out of it, but it's just on the outer. So the inner's fine. It's just on the outer here that's bad.
Yeah, that's the only thing that'll do is throw the drum off balance. That's what it'll do.
So you tell me I need to
If it's,
break the whole entire side.
you have to take it off and put another drum on that's balanced correctly. You'll kind of probably go down the road with that drum, and you're gonna be like, wow, that feels kind of weird. It's kind of shaky. Well, that might be that little chunk of metal that is enough to throw it off. If you ever
Yeah,
noticed, the drums come with balance weights on the outside.
yeah.
They're balanced. So if anything gets broken on them, fins get broken or whatever, if you have the fin style drums, because you could have the smooth drums as well.
Smooth, yeah.
Yeah. I always go to the thin drums in the back anyway.
Yeah, I didn't know at first. I didn't realize that 70 through 72 have different masters, not master cylinder, wheel cylinders.
Yeah, the sizes
Then
can
a,
be different. Yeah.
then a 69 and back.
Mm-hmm.
69 and back, they're all pretty standard, and then 70 through 72, they're a little different.
Well, that's how you can play with brake bias. You can change the size of the wheel cylinders, and that'll change how much force is being used, how hard your pedal is, or how soft your pedal is.
Hmm.
Because they're mostly interchangeable. You can use a 13 16 wheel cylinder or a 7/8 wheel cylinder. It doesn't really matter. They'll all fit in there
Hmm.
physically. Wow, Tails! Haven't seen you in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while. He's a ghost.
He's probably busy. He's in California. He's in the worst place ever.
Yeah, same place Johnny is.
Yeah, that's the worst place ever. I gotta say. It's sad because in the 70s, everybody wanted to go to California. Everybody was California dreaming in the 1970s. Now
Oh yeah.
nobody's dreaming about California no more. Yeah, nightmares.
I was just
Not
about to
not
say
dreams.
that. I was just about to say California Nightmare.
That's nightmare, but not nothing else.
The only thing good that came out of California is some of the cars,
Yeah, what
like this
cars?
Barracuda.
Oh, yeah, but Detroit designed it, not California.
No, I just mean rust-wise.
it might have got set there, but it was made somewhere else.
Oh yeah,
It was born somewhere else. And look
yeah.
how bad
This.
Detroit is. You don't even think about how bad Detroit is.
Well, I've been to
Yes,
Detroit.
yeah. Not me.
I've been to Detroit. It's a little sketchy.
Well, Tails is agreeing with us, so that's cool.
Yeah.
So what are your plans with the Roadrunner? Are you gonna keep it or are you gonna sell it?
I wanted to keep it,
I mean, it's a
but
pretty solid car, so you're probably gonna get good money for that car.
I wanted to keep it, but there's somebody else that wants it, potentially.
Then the price is gonna go, right?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
'Cause I know you're not gonna sell that car cheap.
Well, 71 is what got me started on all this, so I've got a little bit of an attachment to him.
Hey, Wolverine's there.
Wilburn, are you like writing poetry or something? What are you talking about? What are you doing?
He thinks he's in California. He's probably singing California Dreaming.
I don't know.
Looks
He's
like
doing,
it.
he's doing something. You're gonna flood my comment section.
Yeah, with Gay California. Yeah, okay. That's good.
Jesus. I buy one car from there and this is what I get.
I'm not against the Mopar coming from there. I mean, it's disappointing what they turn into.
Oh yeah.
I mean, New Jersey's adopting their system of emissions.
Hmm.
They're adopting their electrical car deal too.
Hey, Don's in here. He said warm. I don't know about safe.
Yeah, dirty too, because there's a lot of poo all over the place. There's poo everywhere you can see. Oh my God! He said he lost everything except for the cars. I've been there, Tails. I've done that. I have done that. It sucks starting all over again. You still got the Barracuda, right? Right, Tails? Can't give up on little Barracuda because I like that Barracuda.
Yeah, they're interesting. There's something.
His, I like his. I haven't seen it for a while. He was working on the Fiero too.
Oh yeah.
I always wanted to put a 409 in a Fiero.
He
I'm
says I'm
never
never
selling my
selling my
Mopar.
Mopars.
No, it's better you burn them down. Don't let nobody else get them.
Yeah. And hide all the parts in your attic too.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we're potentially about to go on a selling spree of a lot of the cars around here, so.
Wow. But you're gonna get rid of a lot of the parts cars too. You got some parts cars, don't you?
There's probably 6 or 7 parts cars out there that got to go away before winter.
Why before winter? Because they'll sit out there.
Yeah, I'm not taking them inside. I don't have any room inside. And they don't do me any good when they're sitting out there covered in snow when I can't get to them.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to plow around them.
If you can not, it's parts and you don't know what parts are there. You might plow right over something.
Oh yeah, done that before.
So I keep my stuff. I have a certain way of going around the yard with my snowblower, so I make sure that I can get to the back.
Yeah, I mean, definitely try to have a path, but you get a little close to something here or there and don't get to see exactly where something's supposed to be, and
I forgot to pick up a cord one time, an electrical cord,
ooh,
and I was like, "Holy crap!" And that thing, it didn't take but a second for that thing to wrap around that snowblower.
oh yeah, that's a pain. At that point, you may as
Damn
well
it.
just cut it.
Yeah, that's what I did. I was like, I'm done. You're out of here. But I got some nice cords that are really thick, and I would not want to run one of them over.
No.
I got one that's 150 foot long, and it's good for like 50 amp. So I don't want to hit that one. That one cost me $150.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was a 300-foot roll though. I split it with my buddy. We both bought it, and he made an end for his, and I made an end for mine. But I could weld anything in my yard anywhere at all, but with 220.
That's nice. Yeah, I don't think we have it. Well, we have one 220 switch here.
I have 220 because when I was welding, I was building a motorhome frame into a trailer.
Yeah.
And that was almost half-inch steel. So I gotta have 220 to weld that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I did, Tails. Exactly the same thing. I had my cars all over. One car was here, one car was over there.
Yeah.
It was horrible. Horrible. Plus, I lost a couple of cars and a lot of parts. I lost a whole bunch of torque converters. I'm still mad. You've seen the price of torque converters, right?
Yeah.
They're not cheap.
No.
Okay, I had torque converters. I had the 28 at 3500 stall. Go look and see how much they are now.
A lot.
Yeah, I threw them away because I had to do it. I had no way to put them. I could drive under warranty. That wouldn't destroy my Aaron's. My Aaron's is from 1973. That thing is solid, cast iron. It'll break that board.
Jeez.
Oh yeah. They made them solid back in 1973. This new stuff, it's like tin. They're made out of tin.
Yeah.
But the shear bolt should have broke. The shear bolt should have snapped and saved that.
Yeah, I don't know much about that stuff. I just know I got a
I hope
four-wheel.
you come back.
Yeah.
Again.
I got a four-wheeler with a plow.
I hope you come back, Tails. That's all I gotta say. Come back soon.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not going to be on late tonight. I mean, 10:30 maybe.
Yeah, it's 9 o'clock there now. Yeah.
10.
Oh, okay. 10.
Almost 10.
Okay.
Almost 10.
Yeah, all right. Almost. Yeah, I got 10:55 here. You got what? 9:55, right?
Yeah. Don said he had to sawzall the board off to get it home.
That's funny. That's a shame. I've taken some belts. I've broken a few belts, I'll tell you that. And I always have at least 3 or 4 belts for the winter. Because you know how supply is now.
Huh.
You ain't getting it. You ain't getting that belt. When you need it, you ain't getting it. You know what I wanted to get today that I couldn't get nowhere? I wanted to get an M12 1.75 nut, a metric nut. Nobody has any. Nobody.
Jeez.
They got the bolts. They have the bolts. And I'm like, wait a minute. What good is the bolt if you don't have a nut? Even a guy knows that he's got no nuts, but a bolt, it still ain't going to work. Because you need the nut. Right? Right. So why the hell don't they have any nuts? I was pissed. I was pissed. I got to go down to my metal supply store. Maybe they'll have some. I don't know if they're going to have some. I'm worried now.
Or you might have to order something online.
Yeah, I could get that's the weird thing. I can get a box of 30 of them, all right, on Amazon for $9.99.
Jeez.
But I can't go down to my local store and get them. How come Amazon can get them?
Who knows?
This is why Ed from Ed's Machine. That's
Mm,
why he was ranting and raving, because shit is being made in China and still cast made in the USA. Because they have the tooling over there, and they didn't change the tooling. It still says made in the USA, but it's over there in China. Then when you get it, you're going to pay that price, and you're thinking, oh, look, I got a Mellon oil pump from America. It says USA. Wrong. Then no wonder you're like, wait a minute, how come I don't have any oil pressure? Oh, shit.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And, oil pumps, you don't have to throw an oil pump away. You can just measure the oil pump. And if the specifications are still good, you can reuse it. Just clean it up and reuse it.
Right.
I got a whole bunch of them.
And even the factory ones, they put out good pressure and everything.
Yeah, well, most cars don't need a high volume or
No.
high pressure. The stock 383, 400, or 360, or 318, 340, they're perfectly fine with a stock pump.
I don't even know.
Sometimes,
I don't even know what pump is on my 440.
you can tell by the thickness if it's an aftermarket, because the rotors will be taller than a normal, and it's on the outside. You can measure it easy.
Yeah, I should look at that. I don't know. It's got amazing oil pressure though.
But when you have a high volume, okay, you got more pressure going, more amount actually coming out. You can actually snap that end of the drive that's inside the distributor, that the distributor rides on. That gear comes off the cam, and then the shaft comes down. That's why you should run a hardened and pinned. The gear should be pinned.
Not just like a pressed or whatever they are.
Well, right now, yeah, they're just friction, and they can actually spin. I've seen
Yeah.
cars that have done that, and they're like, "Well, the timing won't run." And I was like, "Well, maybe. Oh, look at this. Okay." You know what I mean? Oh shit! But you got to go. You got to at least take the distributor out and to pop up the intermediate shaft.
Yeah.
And once you do that, then okay. And the same thing with oil pressure. If the tip snaps off, you're like, "Hey, I got no oil pressure."
Yeah.
And you got the push rod. You got the fuel pump push rod on the other side. If that guy goes soft on you, you got no fuel pump. I had a big wagon, a big C-body wagon like that, and I should have bought that car. It was my friend's mom's car, and that had a 400 in it. I was gonna buy it, and I didn't buy it. I should have bought it because now I know what was wrong with it. Back then I didn't know, but now I can fix it. Yeah, I want to see the Roadrunner going. I want to see it running around.
Yeah, there's a chance it could go tomorrow. It's just those two bolts on each side that are giving me a hard time. I'm gonna have to try that 1/4-inch drive, see if I can get it to fit in there.
Try it with a what do you call a flex
swivel
universal? Yeah, universal for it. Try it with one of those. See if you can get it in there. You can get in there, and it don't matter if they break. Let them break.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't care if they break. You know. And I've heated them with a torch and all kinds of crap.
Dude, I've had it happen with an inverted head bolt. The bolt is inverted Torx. Okay, you know what a regular Torx is, right? And then you stick that into the hole, right? Well, this is the opposite. Okay, and all the little edges just go away. There's nothing there.
Jeez.
Yeah, that sucks. Let me tell you.
You turn it into a circle.
That because they rusted away. That there's nothing left of them. So that was in a, I think it was a 98 GMC Sierra.
Jeez.
Yeah, that was a 98 GMC Sierra. And what I did is I took what do you call a gun, impact gun, and just
Hmm.
took the chisel and just on sideways and just walked the bolt all the way around. And got it to move. Once I got it to move, I could get it out.
I
I
had
gotta
to do
tell you,
that.
that sucked.
I had to do that with a cam bolt on a upper
Wow.
control arm
Oh yeah.
on
I
the
remember that.
69 Roadrunner that fought
That
me
was
for
bad luck.
days.
That was some bad luck there. That's why I gotta
That
tell you
fought
that.
me for days.
That was bad luck, man. You seem
Every
to be.
job, every job
You,
is a couple bolts away from taking an hour-long job into a 3-day ordeal.
yeah. You seem to be like a magnet for that.
Yeah, I had to replace it with a different cam bolt. I still don't know what's wrong with the front suspension on that car. You know, it
But what's it doing?
in the front right it's not a clunking. There's no like unnecessary movement when it's jacked up or anything when you move the wheel or anything, but there's a clicking. There's like a I don't know, as you're driving it, as you're moving even slowly, you can hear it. There's just a click, 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 click,
Okay, but
click.
when you hit the brakes, does it go away?
No, I don't think so. I guess I never thought about that.
All right. When you keep it up in the air and you spin the wheel, you don't hear it.
No, it's something suspension. It's not any rotation related thing.
Wow. I don't know how the hell could that be?
I don't know. That's what's confusing me. I'm trying to think, and I'm like, it's got brand new upper control arm with ball joints. It's got all this other stuff that seems okay. I mean, the lower control arm bushings are a little bit beat up, but that wouldn't make a clicking sound.
No, it wouldn't make a clicking noise at all. It's got to be something in the wheel and with the weight of the car on it.
Well, and we checked the lug nuts to see if the lug nuts were bottoming out before they were torquing properly, and that's not it. Because we got the Kragers on it with their unilugs, and you got to run a washer and all that
Yeah,
other crap.
yeah, you got to run a washer. I know all about it. I
We're
keep them
trying to
for
make
spares.
yeah, we're trying to make sure that the lug nut wasn't like bottoming out or something, and it wasn't a loose wheel. And
Uh,
check that; that wasn't a problem. So
Only
I
I can
don't
do
know.
it. I got to see the car in my hand and drive it to tell. That kind of thing. You got to do it that way.
Right. And it's tough for me because I don't have the experience exactly to. I haven't
Yeah,
run into that before.
you've never come across it. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, you never come across it. It happens like that. You know, it's like doing eight and a quarter rears, and there's two different 8 1/4 rears. There's some that have a shim behind the bearing on the pinion, and
Hmm.
some that have the actual shim behind the bearing cup inside the actual housing. So when I went to do one of mine, and I went to do a 355, I didn't realize that there was a shim behind that bearing. So I just went and shimmed the pinion,
Hmm.
and now I got a howling noise coming out of that rear. And I'm like, oh man, I gotta take it apart again.
Yeah, I gotta fix the stupid brake adjustment on the Super Bee because I got it down on the ground. I didn't realize I didn't adjust the brakes at all, really, with the adjuster, the little star wheel.
Yep, no star
Uh,
wheel.
so put it down on the ground and tried to push the car forward. And I mean, both me and my dad pushing. I could barely push it. I was like, "What the heck is going on?" And jacked the back of it up. The left wheel spins perfectly fine. It has a tiny bit of drag, so I might take that out. But then the right rear wheel is locked. I mean, it is. I could
Oh,
move it like a little bit, but it's pretty well locked. So I'm gonna have to see if
Yeah,
I
just
could
open it up.
see if I could stick a screwdriver in the back of it. Otherwise, I'll probably just have to take it off.
Yeah. They sell a tool that it's like a drum measuring tool, but they use it for the pads. And you put it up against the drum, and then you put it up against your pads, and you
Yeah,
set your pads exactly the same way.
yeah,
I'm gonna pick one of those up. That's one of those tools I still haven't acquired.
one of the
And
few.
then I can do it. I can do it the other way. I can just use the star wheel and I just get a little bit of drag and then back it off a couple half a turn, and that's it.
Right. Yeah, I'll have to. I don't know. I want to get that thing rolling, so I want to put it back in the garage so I can put the dash in it without worrying about it because we got a little bit of rain coming. And I do not want to put a freshly redone dash in there and have a bunch of rain get in it.
Yeah, that would
That
suck.
that would really, really suck.
Yeah, plus everything gets wet. All the electrical, all that stuff
Mm,
gets wet. No, you don't want that. You don't want that.
nope.
So you're taking the what you call the other car to no name or what?
Don't know yet.
Are you showing up at all?
It's likely, but
Debatable.
it's in question.
Wow. Yeah, I mean it's a lot of money to go down there.
Oh yeah. It's a
A
lot
lot
of
of money to go
money.
down.
It's a decent amount of time too, and we got a lot of traveling and stuff coming up too. So it's like, it's just I don't know.
Yeah, and then you got the truck needs work, right?
Yeah, the brakes aren't wanting to release right.
You got to do that.
Yeah, I gotta figure out what the problem is with that.
Yeah, but it never ends. That's the whole deal.
Right.
Never ends. I mean, if you have a whole bunch of disposable income, it's no big deal because you just go, hey, let me take this down here. Just fix it. I'll be back.
Yeah, right.
But I'm doing a floor, a little tiny floor in my house. It's only like 4 foot wide by 11 feet, right? It's like 44 square foot. Go down to the Home Depot, $150 for the stuff to do it, and I still didn't get the underlayment. 100 for that little tiny space.
Yeah.
I went to go get like the underlayment. They want $34 a sheet, which it was 10 a couple years ago. It was
Yeah.
$10. I was like, and then the rubber type, foam type underlayment for those like floating floors that you put in. They
Yeah.
used to be like 10, $20 for a roll. They want 40 to $100 a roll, depending on the quality of the stuff you get. For something that used to be 20, 10, $30.
Yeah.
Glad that I had some left over from another job. Like, holy shit, I'm glad I saved this stuff. I didn't know it was going to be gold.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, holy, this is
There's
the
a
whole thing.
there's
And
a lot of
you go down, yeah.
there's a lot of people that when the prices went crazy on like lumber and stuff that had just a huge stockpile of it because they were working on a project or something. There's a lot of people that just sold that stuff out and it's like, heck,
Yeah, yeah,
they're like, heck, I
yeah,
can't pass up $30 a sheet for
yeah,
plywood.
yeah. I mean, I was getting plywood when it was at a low rate. Okay, guys would just use half a sheet, 3/4 of a sheet, and the rest they throw it away. And I'd go up to the jobs, hey man, you guys can I have that? Oh sure, take it. Now, no way. They
No,
won't let you take it. They're like, no, because it's costing so much money.
they don't have that little bit of a buffer that they could afford to throw away some of the scraps.
Exactly. They used to have that, and I'm like, that was helping me out. If I needed something, I could always get it. But not now.
No.
This is what I mean. Then you add that in, and you break. Let's say you break the truck. Let's say you break the alternator on the way down, or you take out the power steering pump. That power steering pump ain't gonna be cheap for that truck.
And I don't know if it's a line that's leaking or if it's the pump that's leaking or what, but I mean, there's something is leaking.
Oh yeah, probably definitely something. Might be the gear,
I
unless
mean,
you have
I
unless.
I could see fluid down there when
uh,
I pop the hood.
But it's not really fast though, right?
I
That
I gotta fill it every couple days.
well, that's fast, but not really fast. Fast to me would be like it's gone in about an hour. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? That's bad. That's bad.
and if it gets a little bit low, you can hear it kind of straining and squealing when you're
Oh yeah,
turning.
definitely, definitely.
Yeah,
I did. I told you, I did my neighbors, and we put a new pump in it, and I had to pull the pulley out, because I had the tool for that, and I put all new lines at the same time. So I'm like,
yeah,
why would I, change it and not put everything new?
right. And I don't know if that would have a power steering cooler on it or not.
Sometimes
It's a
depends on
three
yeah
quarter ton,
the,
so probably.
the one I did. Yeah, I don't remember a cooler on the one I had. Not always, but sometimes they will. Depending on the year, depending on the options on the truck. Depends on the options and the year of the truck if it's going to have a cooler. A
The
cooler is a
truck,
good idea though.
yeah, the truck was actually originally like a DOT service truck,
Yeah,
so it probably would have one on it if it does.
yeah,
I
it
don't know.
probably would have one on it. Yeah,
I'll see.
yeah. I still got an old Ford one. Looks like a little tiny radiator.
Yeah,
Pretty cool.
I have an old. I wonder if it's worth anything. I have an old. I believe it's actually from a Mopar power steering cooler. Like a just little tiny thing. Like it's like
I think I have one of those too. Yeah,
it's like
I don't know
it's like
exactly what you're
three
talking about.
inches. Yeah, it's like 3 inches tall by like
It's
6 inches long.
it's not very big. Yeah, I know.
No, it's kind of cool. I should see if there's a number on it or something or what it might be for.
Usually, they have a number on them. Yeah, yeah. That's what stopped me. It's just the amount of money it's going to take to go down there, and the amount of money to go back.
The
I
drama
could take
surrounding it.
yeah the drama surrounding the idiots and morons that might be there. You know what I mean? Because when the whole thing started, it was supposed to be a fun deal. There was no competition. No, hey, I got to win at all costs or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's like I thought it was going to be a fun deal. Everybody could be happy, have a great time, and then go home. They got their channels, maybe expose their channel to enough people, they get more subs and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
That's it. No, hey, I'm going to beat you and blah, 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 and I bet you $3,000. What the hell is that all about?
You and the caveman.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't go for that either. A lot of people just, got a lot of swollen heads going walking around.
Oh yeah, there's
Ah,
what I know, I
uh,
mean, everything goes according to plan. The group that we're talking about kind of having together there is a good one, but you know, I mean, it would be me and Bigfoot and Adam and Joe and so
probably 318 will run.
yeah, I'd like to meet him. I haven't talked to him before.
318 will run probably, and a couple of other people. NSB seem like cool people.
Yeah.
You know. And of course, you'll probably see Don, so Don's cool.
Oh yeah.
So it's sometimes people take it too far. That's all there is to it. You know.
Oh yeah. Some people just don't know when to quit.
And kind of weird that it's not going to be at the same place every year.
Right.
It's gonna I don't know what it's gonna be next year. I know it's never going to be up on the East Coast, so I ain't got to worry about that.
Right. Probably not.
Probably not. So I ain't got to worry about that far.
Right.
That's how it is. That's just how it is. And the climate, the car climate right now is really getting really iffy. People complaining about getting parts, and they don't realize it's planned to be that way.
It's not going to probably get very better very soon.
No. Not unless you talk about somebody having a plan and taking out a few people.
Yeah.
It's the only way.
Making some alternative choices.
Making some alternative choices, yeah, because they're not going to go away. They're not going to stop. They're going to keep pushing until somebody pushes back.
We need somebody to push back.
The thing is, the way the law is written and the way our cars are registered, and they can be gone tomorrow. That's how bad it is. They can come up to your house and say, "Oh yeah, it's gonna be a war."
If they want them, they can come try to take them.
Oh yeah, but there's gonna be some people getting killed. But if you know history and you know the history of the unions, okay, back when the steel mills, that's how far they pushed it until they finally killed several union members. Okay, they hired a company called the Pinkertons, right? Security company. And they weren't supposed to kill anybody, but they ended up killing people. Okay? When push comes to shove, that's what happens. And not cool, man.
No.
Not a cool thing, You're trying to defend your property, you know what I mean? Somebody's taking your property and telling you that you can't have that property anymore.
Sure, you could take it. Pay me what it's worth.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Even
a
low level Dodge is going to be worth a couple of grand. Okay, they're not going to want to pay those couple of grand. Okay, they had a buyback for guns, all right, and they were paying $100 for guns. Really? Would you trade in your AK for $100?
No.
Huh? They were like, oh, if you bring an automatic weapon, we'll give you $150. Really? I'm that stupid, okay? The people with 3D printing guns, they were 3D printing the guns and bringing them in and getting money for them. $150 for a plastic gun. They deserve that.
Yeah.
They deserve to be ripped off like that. But this is the kind of crap that's. What do you think? Was it Clunkers for Junkers or whatever it was called?
Cash for Clunkers.
Cash for Clunkers, yeah. That's what that was. It didn't do anything good. It just got rid of a lot of old cars that we could use parts from.
Oh yeah. And
I mean, a lot of square bodies. I've seen a lot of square bodies die.
Oh, I'm sure. Nobody likes Chevys anyways, though.
No, dude. Those square bodies were good trucks, man. 70s, 80s. Just like Ram Chargers and Broncos. I've seen a lot of old cars go. A lot of old cars. And then I see cars that most normal people, you just got married, you got no kids, but you want to be able to get to work, so you want an $800 car. You can't get an $800 car now because they're not out there.
No.
I just fixed a Mark 8 today, like a 2016. I don't know, I can't remember what year, because the guy bought it and the rear deck lid was about a quarter of an inch off on the one side.
Yeah.
He goes, well, do you think you could do something with that? I said, I'll try. I went in there and I adjusted the hinges and lowered it enough to when it closes, it's completely even. He was like, wow, you know what the hell you're doing? I said, yeah, it's pretty easy. Not that hard. But Probably somebody opened it up and the wind caught the hinge, the deck lid,
Probably sprung it a
pulled,
little.
and pulled it out. That's all. Because there was no damage on the rest of the car. But I asked him, how much did you pay for it? He said 15 grand. This is a used car with 100 and something thousand on it.
Jeez.
Wow, this he says it needs more Jed.
Yeah, Jed's out of town, or else he would be here.
Yeah, there's no amount of B5 that's gonna get him here.
No.
There's no amount.
Nope.
You can do it all you want. You can come on if you want. There's only a little bit of time left.
Yeah, another 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, you're a little interesting guy. Yeah. Plus, the lives take a lot of time up too. I used to do a lot of lives with other things and other sites, and it just takes up so much time. You don't get anything done.
Yeah.
If you go on a live for 6 hours, that's 6 hours you're just talking. Okay, I could be spending 6 hours working on a tranny or working on a quarter panel.
Right.
Or sanding. I wanted to get my dart. I was working on the bottom dog leg right next to the back of the door, where it connects to the rocker arm. I'm gonna have to make that piece.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because a lot of these quarter panels, you buy them, they don't come with that piece. That piece isn't there.
Yeah, where the rocker attaches to the quarter.
Right.
Yep. The little part that kicks in front of the door jamb a little bit.
Right. So I gotta make that. So I'm like, okay, I got the old one from the other quarter panel, so I'm just gonna copy it in the same style of steel and then put it on there. That way I can get that on, and I can put the last couple of coats of primer on it, and it's ready for it's set for the winter. I don't have to worry about anything happening to rusting on it.
I can't believe how good. Well, I can believe, but I can't believe how good Adam is at that stuff.
It's just like art, dude.
Yeah.
It's just like art. You know how you make something out of clay or you make something out of paper mache? It's the same thing. You just follow the shape.
You've seen the movie. You've seen the movie Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
Make things out of clay, lay by the bay. I just may. What do you say?
You're nuts, dude. Adam Sandler is nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I see steel. Steel's just another medium. Yeah, just another medium.
A tougher, more difficult medium, but
not really. If you keep working at it, you'd be surprised what you could do. Well, you saw what Adam did with that one part where he made a cardboard pattern first.
Oh yeah.
So once he made the cardboard pattern, he had something to follow. And it's over. And then when he made the two sides, the two supports for the quarter, okay? Yep. And he had to copy one the opposite way, everything turned the other way. So that's not so hard. And the bad part is that AMD makes theirs an inch and a half too short.
Yeah.
That's the bad part. Like, I paid $50 for these? What the hell?
Well, and it gets a little easier when you can take a three-dimensional shape and transfer it onto a two-dimensional pattern.
Right. Right. And I mean the wheel well repair, that was easy. That's an easy one. Did that on my 71 right now. It's got that on the inside. It looks exactly like it did before. And I got to do the same thing to the quarter panel. I don't think I'm gonna get a new quarter panel. I'm just gonna do the dog legs in the front. Make the dog legs in the front, and I got the from the light down. I got that piece of panel from AMD, and I'm gonna put that in. There's no reason to take that sheet metal. It's just a little dented and replaced the whole thing. I mean,
Mhm.
right now that panel, complete panel from the roof line, from the rocker, all the way to the end of it where it meets the bumper, is $759 for that panel.
Jeez.
And that's without shipping. That's another $250 with shipping. Then you got to add tax because everybody taxes now. It used to be where if they weren't located in your state, you didn't have to pay the taxes. But now they said, no, you're going to pay the taxes, bitch.
Well, luckily for at least some parts, they don't do a lot of metal parts, but there's a somewhat local place to me that I get parts through that I get 10% off everything. So that's nice.
Yeah, that's good. If you can find somebody to do that for you, that's good.
Yeah.
And get the
Right.
parts and be able to get them.
Oh yeah.
You know, they still have. I'm pretty sure they're still putting out the parts for the B and the Coronet, 68.
68 they killed.
They killed the 68?
Yep. 69 only.
Damn, that sucks.
They killed 68 Charger even too, I think.
That's stupid again.
Because they're like, oh, well, if somebody needs it for a 68, they could just modify the marker light. Well, yeah, but some people just want to put a panel.
Right. Actually, I don't like doing that. That's what I did with the Dart. The Dart, they only came with the 71 marker light, so I had to put the 72. And I did it, and it worked out fine. But it would have been a lot easier just to have the 72 there, already pressed in.
And they killed 72 Roadrunner quarters.
That's dumb too.
Because they didn't want to make that extra stamping for the marker light. It's like, it's not hurting anything.
That's just so stupid. And they still don't make a good rear balance or front balance for those cars.
Yeah, I haven't run.
I've never seen a good review on them. Everybody complains about them. All the sites, they're all complaining about them. They're like, it doesn't fit. If you can fix your old one, keep your old one. I'm like, what? I was gonna get one of those. Because I got like 7 or 8 of them, right? But I'm thinking, why body work this one if I can get a nice new one already straight for $249? I didn't think $249 was a lot of money for that piece.
Right.
But if I put it on and it don't fit, or it's an inch short on one side and an inch short on the other, then it's not worth $249 to me.
Right. It's not worth it if you're going to put a considerable amount of effort into saving that when you could just save an original.
Right. It doesn't make any sense. I'm like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
That's AMD makes a lot of good stuff, but some of the stuff they really missed the mark. And then there's this new guy, I can't remember what it was. There's a new maker right now. And they're making Mustang quarter panels, and these guys are raving over these panels. They're saying that they're almost exact copies of OEM. If they could do that for Mopar, I'd be really happy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't care if you got to pay an extra $100. If you know you could lay it on there and every spot's gonna fit the right way.
Right.
You know, if you know, bang, the marker light's there, the cutouts here for that, and it slides in, then fine. I'll give you the extra $150 you want.
Yeah.
Because you could buy the other one cheaper. You could buy like what is it? Mark. I think it's Good Mark.
Yeah, Good Mark.
Right, and they're gonna be different. It's definitely gonna be different. You're gonna have to work them. I mean, I've worked with some J.C. Whitney panels. Okay, they're like crap. I mean, they're crap. They kind of look like a quarter pan. That's how bad they were.
Jeez.
But I made them work. But it's just way more effort to straighten that out than to have something that fits perfect and you just put a nice little skim coat and keep on trucking.
Oh yeah. Makes it easy.
Makes it easy, yeah. And for them to get rid of those, I mean, those are some high dollar cars. The 68 Charger, 68. I would love to have a 68 Coronet. That's one of my favorite cars.
Yeah, I'm gonna be selling the '68 Coronet RT.
Yeah, that's a nice car. I like that car.
Yeah, red, black interior, black stripe, bucket seat console, tack,
Yeah, nice,
440.
nice.
It's a rear speaker fader car. Kind of a weird one.
Yeah, all of the options that you could get,
Oh yeah.
Because you could check any box if you wanted to get them. You know what I mean? Lots of people did that.
Yeah.
They had the blower, the heater blower for the back of the window.
The
That was an option
defroster,
in later cars.
Mhm.
A lot of cars got that, and some cars got like they would move over the one speaker to make it fit.
Yeah. I can't believe that '73 Barracuda it has cruise control.
Yeah, cruise control. Pretty cool. It
Yeah.
has AC too, don't it?
Yep. Power steering, power brakes, disc brakes, bucket seat
AC.
console.
And it's cool it has the AC because it's really easy to convert it if you have it all there.
Yeah. Light package where it's got the lights in the trunk.
Yeah, that Dart Sport I took apart in the junkyard. I got it for $200, but I couldn't take the car. He's like, you can take all the parts you want and cut it up, whatever, but you can't take the car. I said, okay, no problem. But $200, It's like, okay, I'll do that, right? But that's what it had. It had all the interior lights, all that stuff, all that extra stuff that you don't get unless you check the marks. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna put that shit in my Dart. I'm gonna put all those lights in the Dart, man. Dart will be like, but this is an L. It says L for low. I know it says L for low, but it's got all the Highline parts, the premium parts. I'm like, I'll put them in. Fuck it. Who cares?
Oh yeah.
Because the car's not worth crap because it is a low car and it's a slant six. One is a slant six. So no big deal. And the kid had a 72 Charger that was a slant six car. And somebody had put a V8 in it and didn't do it right. They just plopped it on top of the 6-cylinder K member. And I'm like, I'll give you $500 for it. And he's like, oh, and it was really rusty. And he wouldn't get off that car, man. And eventually he just said, fuck it. And he cut it all up. He cut the car up. He sold the car. I mean, but like the fenders were so bad, they weren't even worth buying because they were like turning to dust. So I was like, I did get the console out of it, and I did get the console shift, the whole mechanism, and all the brackets. I got all that for $100. I was like, okay, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Where am I gonna get that for $100 today?
Oh, price of slapsticks are actually pretty decent right now. I sell them for $125 usually.
With the brackets?
No, just the slapstick.
Just the slapstick. I got the brackets, all the brackets for it. I cut them right out of the floor. Now I'll be putting them in my other car because my 71 was a column shift. It ain't gonna stay column shift. It's gonna go console.
Yeah, that's what I like about both the Roadrunners, the 69 and the 71 is, don't have to worry about column shift if they're 4-speed.
Right. Actually, Mill Supply, Matt, answering Crash's
yeah.
Roadrunner garage. Mill Supply does have some good panels. The ones I got with my free charger, I got a free charger in 1974. That's where they came from. The panels, they're about 500 right now for those panels. It's almost like a complete quarter panel up to the B pillar, yeah, up to the B pillar, and they're a good 18 gauge, so that they're solid.
Good thick metal.
Good thick metal. But right, they used to be 350, 300, but lately they've gone to $5. I've seen them as high as $800 on eBay.
AMD is working on them.
I know, but you know how much AMD's gonna charge for them bastards.
Oh, AMD's
rather have-
working on them, and they said if the charger ones sell good, they're gonna do the satellite ones also.
But if they do a full quarter, it's gonna be pretty expensive. But if you need
Oh, I'm
it,
sure.
it'll be the best way to go.
Oh yeah.
If you need it, it'll be the best way to go. But if you don't need it, I'd rather have the patch panel. If your roof line's good and all that's good, I would just do a patch panel. That way you can keep the factory metal from the roof down.
Right.
You know? The only good thing about doing a complete one is that you won't have a seam.
Yeah.
There won't be a seam when you weld it. That's the good thing about that. But either way, that's gonna be a lot of work.
Yeah.
You know what they charge for a replacement of that. Shops don't charge like 99 cents.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm gonna cut it here. It's been over 2 hours, and
All right, cool, man.
I gotta
chill out.
I gotta get up and work on a Roadrunner tomorrow.
Yeah, that's cool. Good luck.
Yeah.
I didn't want to see you all by yourself,
Yeah.
I let you suffer for a little while, then I said, I'll walk the dog.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit of a quieter one. I guess some people are off doing some other stuff, and
there's a lot of lives, Ryan. There's a lot of people on a lot of lives all over the place. You can't be on every single one, can you? I mean, there's so many of them going on now.
Somebody's taken my Thursday night time slot while I've been gone for the past 3 months.
Gotta be at least 10 people have done that already.
I'm sure. For a little while, I used to pretty much own the Thursday night time slot, but
yeah, you did.
I've been gone for the past 3 months from live.
We get two hacks. Two hacks would show up.
Oh yeah, he was in here for 3 minutes.
Yeah, because there's so much shit going on. There's a lot.
Yeah, Two Hacks was in here. Wilburn was in here. And NS was in here. Yeah.
So they're all thrashing whatever they got to do. They're all got to get it done now. You know what I mean? I would be the same way if I was going and I knew that shit needed to be done. I'd be like, well, I can't be on that live. I can't do this.
All right. Well, I'm gonna cut it.
All right.
But we'll see you. Talk to you later.